everyone, I'm Ryan. You're watching 60 Cycle Hum, and this is the SLÖ by Walrus Audio. This is a reverb pedal that specializes in ambient sounds. If you want to go ambient, this thing has got to be on your wish list because it is thick and rich and deeply modulated with a saturated trail that just goes on and on and on forever. Perfect for finding that mood that you've been looking for. So anyways, there's a deep dive of features with this pedal and I don't want to miss a thing. So let's get started. Here is my dry signal from my Squier Bullet Mustang, unmodified except for the paint and this kill switch that I dropped in there. The rest is bone stock. Here is the SLÖ. Oh man, that's lush. So anyways, I'm gonna go through the first three settings on here so that you can hear kind of the exciting things that this does, and then we'll get into the global controls to see the range of other stuff that it does. All right, we've been on the dark setting, which introduces a low octave into the reverb signal. You can mix it and blend it with the X control here. Turn it all the way up for a full low octave experience. Turn it down to take the octave all the way out. Or blend it, whatever you want to do. The next setting is Rise. This senses your playing dynamics and blooms in the reverb trail at a set amount of time controlled by the X knob. So turn it all the way up for a really long bloom. I'm gonna max the mix control so you can really hear what it's doing. Turn down the X to shorten how long that bloom is. And of course, mix it with your dry signal if you want to. Next is the Dream setting. This is a sample and hold kind of deal here. When you don't have something sampled, you get this really nice kind of rich plate reverb sound. Tap the sustain button to sample at any point. Now just go and go and go. Now, when you've got something sampled and frozen and just repeating and repeating, you've got your drone sound there, you'll notice that your guitar signal through the pedal is now dry. So you can let that drone just kind of ring and start stacking other effects, other sounds through there and just play along with it. So there's no extra reverb on your signal while you're playing through that. Now let's get into the oh, by the way, before I miss it, there is a secondary modulation control for the Dream setting. You turn up the X control and you get this like lush, like slow wandering pitch vibrato over your sampled signal. All right, let's get into some of these global settings now. I put it back on the dark setting. First of all, you have a decay knob. You turn that up for really, really, really long trails. Turn it down for short trails. Put it anywhere in the middle, and of course, hold down the sustain button if you want to max out that decay knob. In the middle, we've got a filter control. Turn it all the way right for bright and all the way left for dark. I wish dark and left rhymed, but they don't. So here is the bright sound. And of course, a mix control. There's a little line right here that shows you where the perfect 50-50 mix is. You can turn it all the way up for a fully wet sound. And then blend out the wet and have a mostly dry sound. Or an all the way dry sound. I don't know why you would do that. But it's there if you want it. Now the depth control and the wave shape controls. So the depth controls a pitch modulation. It gets fully wacky if you want it. Or nice and chorusy. Of course, you can pull it all the way out by pulling the depth all the way down. Now you can control the rate of this by holding down the bypass switch and then adjusting this knob. You can also control the wave shape by holding down the bypass switch and then flicking the switch. We've been on the sine setting. This is a warp setting, which means it goes up and then drops, up and then drops. It's like this, sawtooth sort of thing. Turn down the speed a little bit so you can hear it. And then the sync setting is the reverse of that, a reverse sawtooth, where it drops and then jumps, drops and then jumps. I'm going to put it back on sine and dial in something relatively conservative. Another thing about the SLÖ is that I feel like the nature of its reverb trail plays really well with dirt pedals. I think it does great after like high gains, fuzzes, distortions, things like that. But I feel like it does really unique things and fun things before lighter gains, like transparent drives and stuff like that. I'll show it with the contraband fuzz before it right now. I'll show it off with a tube screamer after after it. Go back to the dark setting. There's tons of potential there to mess around with all kinds of dirt sounds, just saturated shoegazy weirdness. I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of fun with this when you get one. All right, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude and nasty comments. Do all the normal YouTube, internet stuff. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Support us on Patreon. Watch this awful noodly little thing I'm going to play here at the end, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.